Hello everyone, it's me Jenny and welcome to yet another part of my D&D miniseries, D&D and me, and what I've been doing with D&D. And I just started DMing, I've run 2 sessions and I'm going to combine those 2 sessions into one video just because there's been so many videos in this D&D thing. So basically my original concept was that the main characters, they're going to be level 5 when they start, and I wanted them to be low enough that they can't really take on big enemies, but they can really, as characters, make a big effect in a larger event. So my larger event, partially inspired by the fact that I wanted to use demons, and partially inspired by the fact that I wanted to use fairy dragons and stuff, is I decided on a Fae versus demonic war. And this is this epic thing that happens every, so many generations people forget, but it's a massive event where basically the demons open portals between the world, and in a Mortal Kombat type way, if the Fae win, all of the realms are protected, the walls shut down, the demons go back to the hells, and nothing else happens. If the demons win, all the portals stay open and the realms merge as soon as the Faes are all killed. And our characters are just normal, they're bounty hunter type characters, and they're just going to accidentally happen to stumble into the crosshairs of this epic battle, and hopefully they're going to stop it from happening in a negative way. So I started off the session with they'd just come back from taking out a manticore on a bounty quest, so I gave them some items and I gave them some levels ups because they're already starting level 5. And they decided to stop outside of a Feywild wood, a wood that, even though it's in the mortal dimension, is a classic portal to the Feywild. It's a place of beautiful natural beauty, where there are fairies and dragons and whatnot. And they made camp. And they had the first guy, our cleric fighter. He multiclassed. He heard the sounds of revelry in the woods, which was of course fairy dragons laugh, and decided to wander off into the wood instead of taking his post as watchman. So then 2 giant fire elementals popped out of the fire, so a battle ensues. The next morning they pass through the wood and they see signs of what look like salamander tracks, and they see dead fairies, and they see dead pixies and wounded dryads, and they meet a wounded dryad queen along with her dryad companions, who immediately take the offensive. A tiny little arrow pops out of nowhere, and they try and face off with these. And so they actually did what I wanted to do. The players did exactly what I wanted them to do, which is in the fire elemental battle, they took out the fire elementals. In the battle with the dryads, they rolled diplomacy, which is exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to impose on them that the dryads were fighting because they're scared and they're terrified and they're on the defensive. They've been battling all night and they're just on the defensive, they just want to survive, and seeing a party of people turn up just put them on the defensive. And they rolled, and it was brilliant. And they actually, if they'd actually attacked the dryads, I would have had a treant come in and just destroy them. But they actually went for diplomacy. So they got a ring of regeneration, and they also got a load of fairy pennies, which is something I made up, which are these tiny little coins that are actually worth 10 times the amount, but none of them identified the coins, so they don't know that their fairy pennies are worth loads of money, but they'll get there eventually. They met a little sprite called Splint, who is my favourite character that I've created as an NPC, who talks like this. He's like, "Hi, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to shoot you." He's really cute. And yes, they got through the Thistledown forest, and the forest kind of closed off into a portal, and so they couldn't really get back in, and they carried on to the lake town, which they were aiming for, where they met up with the bandit, with their the innkeeper, who is named Ember, who is a bronze dragonborn who runs kind of an unofficial bounty guild, and they met up with him, and they got a choice of quest lines where to go, and they got the choice to, just human quest lines. That's what I really wanted to do, human quest lines that actually just happened to interact with this Fey demonic war. And they met up with him, and he gave them the quest to go to Morkarth, the local city, because the solstice market had been cancelled, that usually gets held in this lake town, and it had been cancelled for some reason, and he wanted to know why, so the market could come back. Similarly, they went to go talk to a merchant, the one merchant who'd made it through, who said that there'd been some carts being attacked on the road, and a lot of merchants hadn't made it to the market in the first place because bandits had been taking them captive and destroying their carts. And they also, when turning back to the inn, they met up with a young halfling lady who actually turned out to be the Baroness of Morgoth, who gave them the quest to find her brother, who had gone off to research something to do with this war, and had gone missing in a brothel, and she hadn't seen him since, and they were given the choice of which 3 quest lines they wanted to go to, and they chose the bandit one, and I will talk about that in the next video because this video is way too long. So, to be continued! Bye!